Welcome to the EMAS Menopause in the Workplace podcast, a special series celebrating World Menopause and Work Day held every year on September 7. This Global Awareness Day was launched by the European Menopause and Andropause Society in 2021, following the publication of our global consensus recommendations on menopause in the workplace, to spark conversation and action around an issue that affects millions, yet is still too often overlooked. I'm Professor Petra Stute, President of EMAS. And here's what we know. Menopause impacts work and work impacts menopause. But too often, no one's talking about it. In this episode, Policy Matters, a national conversation on menopause in the workplace, we hear from Professor Marina Šprem Goldštajn, EMAS board member, President of the Croatian Menopause Society, and Professor of Obstetrics and Gynecology at the University of Zagreb. Speaking from her experience at the first national policy dialogue on menopause in Croatia, Professor Šprem Goldštajn shares why high-level discussions involving government, civil society, and international organizations are vital for changing workplace culture.
Hello to everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Marina Goldštajn. I am the full professor at Medical School University of Zagreb in Croatia and also president of Croatian Menopause Society. Let me share a little story. I was invited on May 26 this year into the Netherlands Embassy, which was hosted a special event in Croatia, a menopause talk. Usually, when embassies hold events, it's all about trade, diplomacy, or maybe some cultural events with sharing delicious cheese. However, this time the topic was menopause. It was organized along with MENOglobal, which is the international non-profit organization for menopausal awareness and policy, and with the Croatian Menopausal Society. We gathered people to discuss a subject that is often kept quiet, but really needs more open conversation. We held the first policy dialogue in Croatia on menopausal matter and involving ministers of Croatian government, APCs, civil society representatives, experts, healthcare professionals, and international organizations such as World Health Organization and a representative of European Commission. And guess what? The room was packed. For once, everyone from politicians to doctors and civil society groups was talking about the same thing, about the genuine effects of menopause. Not just about women's health in menopause, but also on workplaces, economy, and our society as a whole. We had a roundtable discussion about experiences with menopause in Croatia, exploring different topics such as the level of knowledge among menopausal women, whether there is a stigma or taboo, about awareness and availability of hormone replacement treatment in Croatia. Also, we talked about the training and knowledge among healthcare professionals and data accessibility, especially for osteoporosis data. It was an insightful opportunity to share insight and get a deeper understanding of these important issues. We recognize that menopause in general and in the workplace can bring a mixture of different challenges, including not just hot flashes, but also sleep disturbances, mood things, some psychological problems, symptoms, anxiety, depression, urinary difficulties, and many, many others. Now, let's be honest, of course, menopause isn't precisely a cocktail party conversation. It comes with hot flashes that feel like you are in sauna, brain fog that makes the word spreadsheet vanish into the thin air, and sleep patterns that sometimes forget the concept of the bedtime. And when we are trying to deal with that at work, and suddenly a meeting room set to 18 degrees feels like a paradise. It is uplifting that women over 50 are the fastest growing group in the workforce, showcasing their strength and their resilience. However, many women prefer not to discuss, as we all know, about their menopausal symptoms openly at work, especially. We know that about 45% feel they negatively impact their performance, and almost 50% need to take time off without sharing the reasons. These challenges can sometimes slow down our career growth, making it a bit more difficult for women to move forward, explore maybe some new opportunities, or even stay in workforce. This can impact, of course, our financial stability. In the UK, we know today that 1 out of 10 women will leave their job because of menopause, highlighting the important support and understanding during this time. Let me share 2 stories with you. One is my patient, which is she is a successful manager, confident that she was afraid of giving presentation because she never knew when a hot flash might strike to her. She smiled to me and said, I can handle investors. I can handle deadlines. However, I cannot handle with sudden occasion of hot flashes and sweating through my blouse in front of 200 people. Another story is a caring nurse from my department. She admitted that she sometimes forgot some simple words at work due to brain fog. And she said to me, "Doctor," she whispered, "I know I'm competent. I know that I know my work. I just feel like my mind betrays me at the worst possible times." She also said to me, "Please don't tell to other colleagues my story." So we can say that even in medicine, where we understand the science, we still see some stigma and taboo. Just imagine how it must feel in workplaces where menopause is never discussed. So we face challenges such as absence of policies, reduced work performance, a lack of awareness, empathy gaps, and barriers to career progression. So what can we do? We should gather information about employer policies. We should see which available resources we have. We need to see if there is some mental health support and workplace flexibility. This, of course, includes some very simple measures like flexible work hours, offering various uniform options, or just offering water. But here is the point. Menopause is not a private matter that women should silently endure. It's a women's rights issue. It affects our careers, our productivity, and our well-being. And if we ignore it, we are not just failing women, we are losing our talent, our experience, and leadership in the workplace. That's why what happened in the embassy on May 26 mattered so much. We had an open, constructive dialogue, no awkward silences, no let's change the subject, just people willing to listen, to learn, and to think about solutions, whether if it is flexible policies, better education for doctors, or simply creating workplaces where women can say openly, "This is what I'm going through," without any embarrassment. Because small changes add up. A bit of flexibility after a sleepless night, a workplace culture where needing the window open isn't treated like a personal failure. Leaders who realize that supporting menopause isn't just compassion, it's good economics. So here is the story I want to take forward. Menopause is not the end of any one value. It's a natural stage of life, and with understanding and support, it can be a chapter of continued growth and success. So our gathering at the Netherlands Embassy was just one conversation, but it showed what's possible when people come together with honesty and with empathy. And if we continue to build to that momentum, we can transform menopause from a taboo into a topic that is normalized in workplaces, in healthcare, and in our society.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with a colleague, a friend, or someone in your workplace who might need to hear it. To discover more about menopause at work and how to take action, visit emas-online.org and explore our resources, events, and education tools. Let's keep the conversation going.